Okay, on your college English Google Sites portfolio assignment here for 112, one of the requirements on the assignment is for you to put a Twitter widget on the page, and I'm trying to find where that is. Email linked and Twitter widget on site. There it is. Okay, and so in order to do that, you need to do a little bit of HTML coding to get that done on a Google site. So if you go to my website and you go to the College English main page, scroll all the way down to the bottom, you will find where it says Twitter feed script.xml. You will need to download that file. So you'll click on the blue arrow, and on a Mac you will want to get a program from your App Store called Text Wrangler. Will be good to use um, on a PC. You could use like a WordPad or something like that. And you're going to save file. Okay. I've downloaded that file now, and I can open it up using Text Wrangler again. It's going to open that file up for me. And you see there's some coding here, and what's very important to note is that it says this is where you place Twitter script. Okay, so that's very important to have. And now you will need to open up your Twitter, and when you open up your Twitter, you will go to the gear, and you will you will go to gear, and then you'll go to settings under gear. And we'll wait for that to load here a second. Once that loads, we're going to be looking for widgets. And so here we find widgets, and we click on widgets, and you can see I've created a bunch of these that I've already put on my website. I did not create Corgi. That is one that they have already created. You'll see that probably is the example when you go to create a new one. So we're going to create new. That's where you're going to start off. And you're going to need to pick what kind of Twitter widget you want to use. Do you want one that is just simply a username timeline of all the tweets that are where that username is mentioned? Do you want a favorites one where it would be favorite tweets under when that name is mentioned? Do you want a search? It's obviously the list is one of them and collection is one of them. Those aren't ones that I have much experience with. You can investigate those if you want. But the other common one I think that you might want to use would be search. You can see that the example that they give us here is hashtag Corgi. You can change that to any hashtag that you want that would be related to your site, like I've done with BC Cal Ang and some of those other ones that I've put on my website. So you can change that to any hashtag that you want. Anytime that hashtag appears, those tweets will then appear in your Twitter widget. So anyway, let's since I just deleted my Corgi one, let's create a new one just for fun here. And so we'll create widget. When that happens, you'll see that over here there is some text, HTML text to use. And so you're going to copy that. It's already highlighted, so I'm just going to copy that text. Now I'm going to need to go back to my downloads. I'm going to open up that XML file that I already showed you. I'm going to then highlight the text there. This is where you place Twitter script, and I am going to copy the script that I have just, or excuse me, paste the script that I just copied there. And now I'm going to save that file. I'll save as. I'm going to save it to my desktop so it's easy to find. And I'm just going to call it Twitter script. I'm going to change this here because I have some other Twitter scripts already on my computer. Twitter feed script corgi.xml. I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to go to my web page, and I'm going to need to, well, I'm already signed in as an editor, so that's good. So now I'm going to need to go to Manage Site under the Gear menu. Then I will go to Attachments, and I'm going to Upload. Then I'm going to go and find that file. So you can see here under desktop, I actually already do have another Twitter script on there. Looking for the Corgi one now. Here it is down towards the bottom. I'm going to open that up. And that is now uploading onto my computer. Okay, and as it does that, I can now hover over where it says download. And I'm going to right click there. And I'm going to copy link location. Okay, so now I can look to enter or to add that script, that Twitter widget to my page. So I'm going to go back to just the regular Coach or Tell page, and let's say that I wanted to put that here on my front page. I'm going to go to Edit Page. I'm then going to go to Insert, More Gadgets, and I need to go to Add Gadget by URL here. And then I'm just going to simply paste that address that I have already copied here. You can see the address, but it's a Twitter feed, corgi.xml, and I'm checking here to make sure that I have the HTTPS there. I need that. And I'm going to go back and show you one other thing that's very important to do, is we need to delete everything here to the .xml. So the last thing we're going to delete is the question mark, and so now it just says .xml. We are going to add that, and now we can change the width and height. If I remember correctly, I've used 500 width and 200 height for most of my Twitter widgets, and I can include a scroll bar if I want. I like that because you can move up and down. You can also display a title on there if you'd like, but I'm just going to leave that blank for now. I'm going to click Preview Gadget and see what it's going to look like. Let's say OK, and I'm going to click, if I want to, I can then highlight that, and I can center it if I want, or move it to the right side, but I'm going to keep it on the left for right now, and I'll click Save. And there you go. I now have a Corgi, hashtag Corgi Twitter widget on my page. You're probably not going to find it there for very long if you're going to look for it. But you can see I also put that scroll bar on there so I can scroll and look at past tweets. And of course I could change the size dimensions of this, and I could go, whoops, didn't mean to do that. I could go back in here if I didn't like my size dimensions, and I could simply go to Edit Page, click on my Google gadget, click on the gear for properties, and then I could change this. Let's say that I wanted it to be a little wider, perhaps make it 600 wide, and let's say I wanted it to be 400. Let's say OK. Now it's obviously much larger, and you can see more area taken up on my page, and that's a matter of preference and page design, of course. But anyway, I hope this helps you to create a Twitter widget on your page.